Welcome back to The Shape of a Person. I have good and bad news. The good news is we interviewed Joao, and he's incredible. He's such a beautiful, inspiring story, both to me as a parent and as a teacher and just as a human being. The bad news I alluded to is it's our final episode for the season. So we have just loved making these podcasts, and we hope and plan to make more of them in the fall. So enjoy your summer, and we'll be back in the fall with new episodes in your feed, and we'll remind you when we're ready to do that. But for now, enjoy listening to our final interviewee this season, the incredible Joao. Joao, thank you for being here. It's such a pleasure. I don't know if you know this, but you are our final guest of season 1 of our inaugural season, so you better be really good.
Oh, okay. That's good.
No pressure. No pressure.
No
That's
pressure,
right.
okay.
We're so happy that you're here on a Friday. I know you moved some things to be able to be here with us, and we appreciate that sacrifice. We've been wanting to talk to you for a long time, so I'm glad that it worked out. So would you just introduce yourself to our listener and tell us where you're from, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me here.
Yes.
It is a pleasure, and it's an honor for me to be sharing my life with people like you. It's amazing people that I believe we have here in the school, as well as other students. So my name is Joao. I was born in Mexico. My name is a Portuguese name, however.
I always wondered, yeah.
Yeah, it is a Portuguese name, and it's because of the roots of my father's side.
Oh, okay.
So he decided to put me Joao, been living in Mexico, which is not very common.
Yes.
Is the pronunciation different?
Yeah. It is. The Portuguese people, or even the Brazilian people, the pronunciation is like João.
Oh.
So it's a little different. And Joao means Juan in Spanish, in John in English.
Oh.
So I can be John, but I'm not John.
No, forget it, yeah.
Yeah, so that's my name. I was born in Mexico, and I'm a husband and I'm a father. God gave me that blessing. I have been married for almost 20 years.
Oh, congratulations.
So if my wife listens to this podcast, she start thinking of what we are gonna do for that anniversary.
That's right.
And by the way, she's taking 2 classes right here.
What?
It's not in your class, but she's taking with Professor Cavalucci.
Oh, no way!
And she's taking another class with Eva.
I want to meet her.
Yeah, we'll do that. I will do that next
yes,
week,
please.
definitely.
You all have secret wives in the program.
Yeah, I know. This is a new one that you already know. And we have been blessed with 3 children. The oldest is Diego. He's 14.
Okay.
And we got twins, boy and girl.
I didn't remember that either.
That's another news thing that you know.
Making news today. Yeah.
They both are 10.
Okay.
And we are happy to have this stage of our life living here outside of our country. So this is who I am.
Is your wife from Mexico too?
Yeah, she's from Mexico. Okay. She's from Toluca, Mexico, which is very close from Mexico City.
Yes, and you are from Tijuana?
No. I was born in Mexico City.
Oh, you were? Okay.
But at the age of 5,
okay,
my family moved to Tijuana.
Okay.
So that's why I think I have a strong relation with the American culture.
Right.
My mom used to take me every day to San Diego. It was unbelievable for me, because now that I'm a father, I realized that all the effort that she was giving at that time.
Every day for your benefit. And when you're a kid, you don't know. You're just like, okay, this is what we do. But now you recognize that was a daily sacrifice.
Right. So that was probably one of the main reasons I wanted to try to teach my sons that as a father, you can do many things for them.
And you do. Every time we talk, you talk to me about your children. And the things you're doing to develop them. And your choices are all made with them first. Every conversation we've had, whether it's about your job or about all of it, is you put your kids first.
Yeah, I think it was the way that my family teach me how to love.
Well, they taught you well, right? And you're teaching that to your children. You're passing that on.
Yeah, I think there are moments where you have to think on to live the day. That's it.
Because that's all we're promised. You know,
that's all I have today. Today I have my time and I have the correct time to spend time with them.
Yeah. Your mom took you across that border every day. So Eddie and I are but Eddie is from Southern California, and so we went to college there. And so we went to Tijuana a handful of times, and it's not easy to cross. I mean, certainly today is a different world, but back then it still was an ordeal to cross the border and to do that every day.
Yeah, you know, when I think on that, it is great to know that my mom took me every day. It took like 30 to 40 minutes to drive all days during at least 4 or 5 seasons of the football.
So that's why she took you, right?
Yeah,
so
she
that
took
you could
me,
play.
and I don't know why I never understood why I was not speaking so well English when I was kid, but I was honestly I was just listening all the time my coaches. And at that time the coaches was just give me directions and that's it. It's simple. I was getting to the field, and for 3 hours my mom spent the time with my other brothers, which was amazing. I know that my brothers was they were having a good time on the field playing soccer or whatever. At that time my mom was teaching on school, and she was a teacher, so she was spending that time reviewing all the of their students. So it was nice for me when I became an adult to realize that she was doing a lot of things for me.
How many years was that?
At least it was like a period of 5 years.
Oh, wow! I didn't realize that.
And then we moved to Mexicali, which is 3 hours away from Tijuana.
Okay.
And at that moment, we did not realize, I guess my father did not realize that we were not going to be able to play football in the other border, which was Calexico.
Oh, okay.
They had no team. So I missed that part, and I started playing soccer.
Okay.
Interesting.
What led you to football? Because I mean, that wouldn't have been the average game that a kid would pick up, right?
Yeah.
Like instead of playing soccer.
Yeah. It was curious because I started playing football in Mexico at the age of 5 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I love it. And I think one of the reasons is because my dad used to play football and soccer, both sports. So I guess all he wanted is to expose me and see in which one I was good.
Yeah.
And I think I love it, the football, better than the soccer at that time. And soccer was not really in a good level in Tijuana.
Oh, okay.
Because, going back on those times, it was long time ago.
Yes, sure.
So at that time, I was happy playing football. I had an opportunity to continue my education in the United States, but I was a kid. Yeah. And my dad and my mom, they took the decision to take me with them to Mexicali. So I continued my education in Mexicali.
Okay.
And at that time, I was only playing soccer. And then we moved again to Toluca.
And where is Toluca?
Toluca is very close from Mexico City.
Okay, that's right.
It's about 1 hour driving from Mexico City.
And how old were you then when you moved to?
18 years old.
Oh, okay.
18.
Okay. You're the oldest of your brothers?
No, we are 5.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And almost the last one.
Okay. And you're all boys? All 5 boys?
All boys, and the oldest one is a girl.
Okay, got it. Wow.
So are sports is that a big deal in your family? Because to make such a sacrifice for you to play that game.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. It's kind of sacrifice, but when you love something, it's not like you are sacrificing something. It's like you love and that's how I feel that my son is playing right now soccer. And he loves, and he inspired us to come to the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what brought you here? Is your son? I didn't know that. Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
2 years ago, my son came with the idea to my wife and I, with the fact that he wanted to go abroad and play soccer, not in country. And the reason was because he was playing at a good level in Mexico.
Yeah.
But for some reason, every season, new coach is coming on every season.
Okay.
So the latest coach on that team, he was not considering my son to play soccer.
Yeah.
And it was like 10 other kids. So at that time, I was just saying to my son, I mean, someone is not going to take away your illusion or what you want to do in your career.
Yeah.
At that point, when they are like 8 or 9 years old, you don't expect that they have focus on what they want to be.
No,
And my son, he really wants to be a soccer player.
Yeah.
Now, as a father, I don't want to take that illusion. I mean, he had to try.
Yeah.
And and I will say that if he does the right things, the life is gonna take him, and God's will decide whether if he has to be a professional player or at least to take advantage of his abilities and his skills. Because here in the United States, that's what you have. I mean, if he has a good skills, then he will probably be catching the attention from one coach on a big university. But now,
that's right.
Being here is like he doesn't want any type of university. He wants the best, the 12 best.
Got it.
So it's kind of strange because he's always looking for more and more and more.
Were you like that? As at his age, were you so driven like that?
Well, I think there will be a moment that I have to release my son. And the only thing that I was thinking when he came to us to explain that he wanted to go outside of the country is because as a father, we thought that, or my wife and I thought that we want to spend time with them as they grew up. And it will become the time where it's the correct time to say goodbye if he wants to try. But now we feel like we want to be together as a family.
Yeah. How old was he when he came to you and said, I would like to play soccer?
Well, that was, this is the story. 2 years ago, he told me, Dad, can we go to make a tryout in the United States? Okay. And I was like, the typical father, okay, let's do it. It's going to be a trip. And
wait, that's a typical father? Not in my family.
So I said, so I was like, okay, did you find a team or, because, did you find, what team do you want to make the tryouts? And I help you to try to be in touch with them and start from there. He said, yes, in Houston, there is a specific team that I want to try.
Wow.
So he had done his research.
Yes.
Yeah, he did that. I never helped.
Wow.
He did that for me. And I was in touch. They response back to me. And I received the invitation. They say, well, just bring your kid. Okay. They never thought I was not living here in the United States. Because I was crossing email information. That's it, period.
Yeah.
So we came here as a family. We spent a week. And at the end of the week, on Friday, the coach came to me and said, okay, I need your son. Bring him on Monday. Yeah. And I said, well, I'm not living here.
How funny that that was not expressed.
No. I was so he was like, what? So what was the reason you bring your kid if he's not allowed to stay here? And I said, well, all he wanted is to make the test, make the tryout, and then figure out how he can come to the United States to play soccer. That's it, period. So he said, well, next year we have tryouts.
Yeah.
So that's where everything starts.
Fascinating.
But then on months later, my mom became sick. So she was sick and she had a cancer. Oh. So at that moment, my son was like, okay, I'm not going to bother my father. Yeah. So he started not talking anymore about the idea to go outside of country. Yeah. But I had it on my mind all the time.
Yeah.
So a week later, when my mom passed away, he came back to my wife. Well, he went first with my wife, and then he came to me to say, Dad, there will be a tryout again in United States, not Houston, United States. So can we try maybe San Diego? Can we try maybe LA? Can we try? And I suggest him, okay, why not Houston? Houston is close. It's 2 hours fly. It's like you know. I was not assuming that I was going to make that step on our lives to go and say yes. I was like, let's do it. And my wife at that moment, I was obviously because I was passing a sad moment.
Sure.
She came with the idea, okay, why don't you spend time with your son together, fly into Houston, then spend a week. You can go to Austin, to the tryout of Austin, San Antonio, and Houston, and you will be with him. Yeah. So then, it's a good idea. Then we flew to Houston. We stayed for a week. We were making the tryouts here in Houston area. He decided not to go to Austin, not to San Antonio. So he did on 3 teams, and he was selected in 2 of them.
Okay.
So we came back to Mexico. We returned, and we were talking, and there was like a moment of my wife where she was like, okay, what to do? Because I don't have my father and I don't have my mother anymore, but she has her mother. So she was in that step that it was more hard for her to make that decision than for me.
Yes.
So she was considering like, okay, I need to support my son. So she made that decision.
Wow.
Okay, we're gonna try to do it. So from there, she started talking to me. Okay, what is the next step to live in a legal position right there in the United States? Yes. So I started talking with advisors from here, some firms of legacy here in the United States. But they offer me like, okay, you put some amount of money on the table, or you can put that money on the bank. We create the LLC, and then you start a new business. You create this. You are good on this. Okay, you can import and export things. And they were giving me a lot of ideas. But honestly, as I run a business today, I was like, I don't like to run a business in a different country where I need to learn first. So I was looking for another alternatives. And that's what I started thinking, okay, why if I not continue studying? Because I was studying in Edinburgh, Scotland, for an MBA.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay, wow.
And I was in the middle of that process. I was getting the MBA.
Wow.
So I was thinking, why not to continue the MBA, but I cannot do it remotely from here and justify to the United States. So I have to go to Scotland, and I don't want to go to Scotland to play soccer.
Right.
I want to be close to Mexico. So then I start thinking, okay, what if I do not improve my English? Because all I wanted all the time is to improve my English. And that happened to me during a period of time when I was working, that I had a lot of meetings, but all the time I was good. It was good. I mean, nobody realized that I was not so good. I was hiding a little bit about not speaking so well. It's like, it was tricky.
You were speaking and people understood you.
Yeah.
Well, at that time, and I was just presenting. I was presenting numbers of what I was in charge of on the region, and it was easy for me to present and stay in front of the border commitment and all the directors, and it was easy for me. I don't know why, but it was easy for me.
Incredible. Yeah,
that's really impressive.
Everyone listening is mad at you right now.
So, but all the time I was invited at some period of time of my work life. I was invited to different places to expose what I was learning in the telecom area. So they say, well, the only requirement is you have to speak in English, everything. And I was like, no, man, no, I don't want to do that. I can do that maybe for 30 minutes. But the 1 hour speaking in front of the audience, coming from, I mean, I was very shy when I was child. I was very shy, so shy that you don't think I'm in front of you talking in this way.
You are not shy at all today, at least in my,
So I was shy, and coming from that point of view, I was like, okay. So I refused a lot of times invitations, and not invitations in Mexico. I refused invitations going to Asia Pacific or to Europe.
Like big.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, they pay for me for the ticket, they pay for me a lot of things, and I refuse to do that, so I have to be crazy, because the only thing I need is just to be in front of the audience and speaking what I know. So I was not getting the confidence that I think I'm having today. That's one of the things that I believe is the benefits to be immersed in a culture. Right now, living here in the United States, I have the opportunity to speak daily, daily or listen daily. I have been learning a lot. You cannot imagine how much I have been learning. Even when I have a degree and I have been studying for MBA, I have been learning so much that I will love it to do it before I start doing my career. Like, the reading process that I know today is awesome. Now that when I start reading, it's like, okay, I stop on those words that I don't recognize or I really don't know, and I go to the dictionary. That's something I didn't do it the last time, honestly. So that's the thing that you learn. I'm learning new words. I learn about people, about the American culture, the classes that I have with Eva, the newspaper. She's amazing, honestly. She's amazing. I have a good friends. You know, Carlos.
Everybody knows Carlos.
I mean, we can speak in Spanish, but we mix, and we think that, you know, we have to speak in English all the time. So it's good to have more people like it is today. And honestly, being here in this culture is what I expect on my sons. One of my goals is that in some period of time they start mixing, and they can switch both languages without any problem. I don't want that they face the type of problems that I was facing when I was working in a U.S. company. I was like, okay, I pretend for them that if whatever they do in life, if they are gonna speak with American people or in English, they can switch without any problem.
Yeah, because that held you back, you felt like. I mean, all those job offers that you turned down.
It was not really a job offer. It was because I used to have my work.
Right.
But it was an invitation that I
refused. It was an opportunity.
Yeah, but because I know that opportunities comes after you are in the audience, because there are a lot of opportunities.
I have a question for you. So Melissa and I see in our students like such progress in their English, but sometimes the students don't see it, right? Because you're living it, you're going through it every day, it's really difficult. Do you see in yourself your progress from when you first came to where you are now? What would you say?
Now I see the progress. In the past, I used not to see that kind of progress. And when I say the past, this is probably a new thing that you will know. But after I finished my degree, I studied computer science.
Okay.
So once I finish, all I have in my mind is I want to learn English. I want to be a good speaker in English. And at that time, I was placing different letters to different universities here in the United States, and only one answer in a quick manner. The one that answered my letter was a Calvary Chapel Bible College. So that college gave me the opportunity to go there and study theology.
Wow, okay.
And at that moment, it was hard because I know that I was focused to learn, and all I wanted is to learn.
Sure.
But being here and be in the line, I remember the time where one of my friends took me to the airport, and then he took me to the school, and I was going to live on the school, and I lived on the school. So I had to make a list, a line, and put my name on the list. And the person that I was going to sign for me on that list, he was going to be assigning me a room. So at that moment, I was scared. And I remember someone came to me to say, "Hey, what's your name?" And I was like, all I needed to do is, "I'm Joao," but I couldn't, honestly. I couldn't do that at that moment. I was like, hey, hello. I don't know what I did, but I was like, okay, whatever. And I from that moment, I realized that, I was alone, and I had to survive in this environment. So I went to the room, and I was with another 5 roommates.
5 roommates?
5 roommates. So we were 6 in a small room, in a small place to live. And I was like, oh no.
What have I done?
So, and everyone was from United States except one that was from Japan.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So going back to the question, at the beginning for me, it was so hard that I didn't see any progress. It was at the end of probably on the year that I was like, but I'm not getting any progress. I don't feel, and I probably was because my best friends, they were from Mexicali, but they were living very close from where I was in the school. And they went to visit me on the weekends, but they were living over there in the United States for a long time. So when they were speaking so fast that I was thinking, I don't want to start speaking in front of them because they will think that I'm not progressing or doing the right things. So that's what happened to me when I was coming back to Mexico after 1 year. I was like, I don't think I got a progress until I realized that when I did the interview with my first job, it was in English.
Oh boy.
So I was like, okay, come.
I
want to get it. And I did the interview. My first job was in English with a Mexican person. He's so smart. He was studying in Georgia Tech. And he's so smart that he was leading all the technology in the United States, in Mexico. Both countries living in Toluca. And I was going to be part of his team. And I was I was feeling very intimidated by the fact that he was speaking so fast, so well, and technical things that I didn't realize. Well, at that moment, it was okay with my English that I had for 1 year. But I realized that, okay, I got some progress, but not enough progress that I expect. So everything starts from there. And I think here is the same for many people. their feelings is like, I'm not getting any progress. Until they realize they are making progress. But in order to make progress, my personal belief is that you have to practice. There is no way you can learn something if you do not practice. Practice becomes, or it's the result of be better.
Yeah. You have to put in the time and the
Even considering that here in Houston, and specifically here in this area, that you can be in Creekside Village and then you hear a lot of Spanish speakers.
Yes, for sure.
But the thing is that you have to figure out and find a way to speak in English. I do by myself. I can be crazy, but sometimes when I go and run, I start talking, but people think that I'm talking on my phone. But and in fact, I'm just speaking by myself.
You're practicing
practicing.
I love
That's really smart.
That is smart.
Well, I think it's smart to spend a correct time running and at the same time listening. Something that you can do two activities in one. Put it on that way.
Yeah. So do you listen to things in English when you're running as well?
Yeah, all the time.
What do you listen to?
I listen Joel Austin.
Oh yes,
I used to hear him in English. I also follow some other teacher that do the phrasal verbs.
Oh, the worst.
So it's kind of different things that I enjoy listening music, but at the same time I love to listen to podcasts, or I try to listen as much as I can. Even if it's motivation, I love the motivation speeches. I love to hear that, so I try to do that as much as I can.
And I love how your group of friends, how you support each other, but you do push each other. I mean, you make each other speak in English on campus.
Yeah, and even to my children, they don't like that I speak in English at home. But I mentioned to them that we're here and we have to respect the country. So I was like, you have to respect the country. You have to speak in English. You have to do it. I don't want you to start speaking in Spanish. You together in class, so I try to encourage my children to speak in English.
At home?
At home.
So is it all English at home?
No. Okay. We mix, because...
Yeah.
Well, you don't want them to learn or lose their Spanish either.
Right,
right.
But you know what I think? Knowing from other parents that they have been living here for many years, they say, don't worry about your son. Your son will be an English speaker. Just give some years and they will switch without any problem.
No, it's true.
So they will not be losing your Spanish. So I guess I do it because I can practice myself.
Practice for you.
I encourage to listen the news, everything in English. That's my purpose, because I don't want to waste time. In life, when you waste time, you see when you see back what you're doing on the back, then you will see times where I should do this, I should do that, or I should have this done before. I don't want to be in that position. I want to focus on waste my time wisely.
How long do you think you will stay here in the United States? It depends on your son's soccer career?
Not really. We do not know for sure till now what the plans are. We're just praying that whatever God is giving us as an idea, we extend that or we come back. My plan or my desire is to stay here at least 2-3 years.
Okay.
That's my plan.
What you hope,
But my wife could be thinking different. She want to go back.
Is she missing her family?
She would like to go back sooner.
Well, she needs her mom, and I understand that part. I understand that part, and I need to support as well my wife. So I try to support her. I encourage her as much as I can that she has to travel just to see and be in touch with her mom. And sometimes it's like, it's not easy. It's like she feels bad going there and then have to go back because she feels like she's giving me all the things on me that I have to make sure they go to the school, they have the lunch, they have something to dinner, things like that. But it's just a matter to adjust the things.
Yeah, balance. Yeah.
Do your kids want to go back?
Well, my oldest one, I don't see him like planning to go back. It's like he's happy.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for him because the type of life he has right here is different that he used to have in Mexico. In Mexico, in terms of security, it's not safe for him to be alone. Right here, he can be alone with the scooter.
Yeah.
He can be around the area.
Yeah.
He loves to go to the village.
Yeah,
Creekside.
sure. Uh-huh.
He's like, hey, Dad, I'm gonna be there. So just, okay, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be there. Then I'm gonna meet with our friends, and we're gonna do a barbecue, and then you can come with me.
Thanks. That independence.
Yes,
though,
freedom
Yeah.
and independence.
And that's the type of things that you can do right here.
Yeah.
I know that there might be securities everywhere, but here is like it's like I will say that here, specifically here in this area, is like a bubble.
I agree.
It's like,
I agree.
it's not everywhere, but here you can do that type of thing. So I'm taking advantage of doing that here.
And your younger twins, how are they feeling about being here?
Well, I love how I see them on the street that we live. They love to come from school and then, hey, can I go out, Dad? And
to play.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Why not? I can continue working.
Take all the time you need.
Yeah, you can go out.
Yeah, you could.
Don't be late.
Or be late, listen.
No, but it's just a matter to walk in front of the house, and just for me it's like, okay, I have to turn my face to the right or to the left and see where they are, and I see them on the scooter or walking with another friends. It's a good area.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
It's not the type of life we used to have in Mexico. That's the tremendous benefits that we have here in the United States,
That's
at least
safety.
around this area.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
so many of our students say that.
Yeah.
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 So we are happy to have this kind of opportunity. We would like to stand as much as we can.
Sure.
My desire for them is they can switch both languages. Once they switch, I can say, okay, you wanna go back, then do it. Let's go back.
Mission accomplished once they can.
So for me, it's like, okay, once I finish, I wanna try to see what other things I can do on campus, learning that it can be beneficial for me to extend on my company. There are a lot of things: business, marketing, digital marketing. I think it's a lot of things that I can
bring to your company. Yeah, how exciting.
So I know that you, obviously, ever since you were a kid, you've gone back and forth and you have had so much experience living here. Is anything different now that you've come back as an adult, as a parent? Anything that surprised you? Anything that was, like, hey, this was not my experience when I was here younger?
Yeah, well, the experience that I had was different because I was living on a campus, going out only on weekends. My friends, they told me, hey, Joao, just do your job quickly. I had to work to pay my tuition. I had a scholarship. I was the first one student who gave 100% scholarship the second semester.
Wow.
The first one was on me or on my mom. And the second semester was 100% tuition.
Good for you. Good for you.
So my friends, they were living very close, 30 minutes from the school. They say, hey, we want to go to Tijuana. So you have to do quickly, do more hours. If you want me to go and pick you up at 8:00 on Saturday because our plans is to travel to Tijuana at 8:00.
Yeah.
Then do everything on the week. So I was like working extra hours, and, that type of things. And I was so excited going out during the weekends.
Yeah.
So my experience living in the United States at that point, it was like, okay, merge in the school, but the weekends in Mexico is like coming back from Tijuana.
Wow.
It was like weird, but that's how I was living, the experience of living here in the United States.
Yeah.
Then, living here as an adult is different because the one thing that I was surprised the first day of school, watching all the kids walking with the scooters, with the bicycles and everything, is what like, I want to show this to my friends in Mexico. They don't have
Never
that.
seen anything like it. Wow.
So I was sharing, hey, look this. Yeah. They can go by walk. They can. In Mexico, it's impossible that you can take your kids with not having cars. It's amazing, but it's for security reasons. You cannot take them, okay, just go to the school. Now it's not possible.
Do kids take school buses?
No. They don't have that option in Mexico.
Okay.
Well, because they don't go to public school in Mexico, right? Did they go to a private school?
We have both, public and private schools.
But most of our families that I talked to, their kids were in private school in Mexico.
Most of here.
Yes, right.
Most of here, we send them to the private schools.
Yeah, because the public schools are not.
And it's pretty much the same as it is here. Depending on where you live, you have the public option.
Yeah.
But we take the private option.
The private option, yes. And they don't have buses, right? The private schools,
they don't have that option. So we have to take them to the school.
Okay. Yeah.
Drop them on the school, and then
pick them up.
go to them to pick it up.
Yeah.
So we don't have that option. So it's for security reasons.
Yeah.
So that's sad.
It is sad. That's what I was just thinking. That is sad.
And every time my kids wanted to do something, we had to do something. My wife was taking care of my twins, and I was taking care of Diego. I was driving to take him to the sport fields. My wife was taking my twins. Yeah. And be watching all the time. Even to going to the supermarket, probably. Wow. That's something obviously sad, but you have to watch your kids when you go to the shopping. That's not good. That's not good. I think it's not everywhere, and probably there will be people that say, "No, you always is going further," but that's not happening. It's happening. Yeah. I have a lot of friends that have been scared about that situation.
For sure. I know people in this program, not necessarily from Mexico, but who have had family members in harm's way, be abducted, have to pay, all sorts of just terrifying things that I think a lot of American families don't understand. We think, well, our kids, we have to watch them too. It's not the same. We don't have to watch them like that,
Yeah, and well, I think that's one of the benefits, but it was strange at the same time, because I remember the time when I was doing the interview with the lady that I interviewed. I interviewed a lady from Louisiana.
Oh, right.
Oh, you mean for a class assignment?
For a class assignment. Yes. And before I was going to do the interview with her, she was calling her daughter, and she was like, "Okay, be careful. Watch your back. Just focus on get on the bus," and things like that. It was like, I'm not doing here, where she's living, that she has to do that. So my guess is, depending where you live, you have to be more careful about.
That's absolutely true, and that's in many, many places.
Yes.
Right.
So that's why I say, security is everywhere. But there are places where it's even worse or even better. I have a lot of friends that they don't have any problems. They are lucky. Yeah. But we cannot live in that situation. That live in the situation that someday something can happen. It's not fair.
No, it's a hard way to live.
But as we live and as we see things are running, things are trying to be better in community. So hopefully in the future
Yeah.
things go back as it
Yeah,
was in the
as it used
back
to be.
on those days where it was easy to go outside on the street to
Yeah.
play and have fun.
I hope so.
Right. I hope so too.
Yeah. Well, Joao, I think we've taken up enough of your time, and you need to get on the road. I know you have places to be today.
Well, I have to make a quick trip to Austin.
For his kids, there it is again.
Diego has a showcase.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Good luck, Diego, if you're listening. Go
Thank
show
you.
them your case. That doesn't work. Go showcase your skills.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
what
you.
a pleasure to talk
It has
with
been
you.
a wonderful time for me to share. It is a pleasure time to me to be here in this school. I want to, and I pretend to extend a little bit more if I can have a pronunciation class or I can have another class. Everything that can be beneficial for me, I will be glad to be here. And hopefully for other students that would like to come to here, the program is amazing. The things that you learn in National Geographic, the people like you, I mean, it's amazing having you
Well,
here
we're
as
so
a
lucky
teachers.
to have you here.
We are. The people like
Yes.
you are amazing. So we're so grateful. It's our honor
It
to
really is our
serve
honor.
and help. And it's our joy. So thank you, Joao.
Thank
you.
Such a pleasure.
Thank
All
you.
right. It's hard to believe, but that was our final episode of the podcast for this season. And I have so many people to thank. Of course, my nephew Jack for writing the music. Thank you as always. And thank you to Eddie as always for supporting us, doing all the technical work and the editing and the checking in and keeping us on track. That takes more work than audience you have any idea. And thank you to my co-host Becky for saying yes when we proposed this idea. Thank you to our guest host Megan. Thank you to Lone Star College for letting Eddie come over here to Creekside on Fridays and help us out, and to his boss, Dr. Green, for being amazing and sharing him with us as well. Thank you finally to our students who, when Becky and I are tired and we're worn out and we're needing strength, we hear their stories and we talk to you in class and we see how much you've learned, and you just fill our cups and put wind in our sails, and we are the luckiest people in the world to have these jobs. And thank you to our listeners for enjoying these stories, and tell all your friends, and hopefully we will be back in the fall with our next season and our next batch of students. Enjoy the summer. We'll see you then.
The views and opinions expressed in this interview are those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Lone Star College.